Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marana YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about emergency generator, their regulations and all. So let's discuss about this emergency generator, their regulations and all. Okay. As per SOLAS requirement of an emergency generator, emergency switchboard and emergency generator should locate above the uppermost continuous duct. We have to understand that emergency switchboard and emergency generator should be located above a uppermost continuous duct. Main switchboard or any machinery space will not interface with supply, control and distribution of emergency electric power. We have to ensure that main switchboard or any machinery space will not interface with supply, control and distribution of emergency electrical power. Emergency switchboard should be in same place where the emergency generator is located. We have to ensure that emergency switchboard should be in the same place where the emergency generator is located. Driven by a suitable prime mover with an independent supply of fuel. It should be driven by a suitable prime mover with an independent supply of fuel. It should have a flash point of not less than 43 degrees Celsius. It should have a flash point of not less than 43 degrees Celsius. Then it should generate power, should be capable of supplying all those services that are essential for safety in an emergency. Generator power that should be capable of supplying all those services that are essential for safety in an emergency. They should be capable of giving power up to periods of 18 hours for a cargo ship and 36 hours for passenger ship. This emergency switchboard, this should provide a power, or the emergency generator should provide power up to a period of 18 hours for a cargo ship and 36 hours for a passenger ship. Emergency generator should be easily startable at 0 degrees. If the temperature is below, this heating arrangement should be provided. Okay, we have to ensure that emergency generator should be easily startable at 0 degrees Celsius. If temperature is below, this heating arrangement should be provided. We have to ensure that this should have automatic starting system. We have to ensure this should have automatic starting system. Mainly primary, that is battery, should be charged fully at all times. We have to ensure that using trickle charging we can ensure that it should 100% charge at every time, fully charged at all time. Dedicated only to start the prime mover and capable of providing 3 consecutive starts. Secondary, pneumatic or hydraulic, they should be capable of providing 3 consecutive starts within 30 minutes. These are what the automatic starting system. Primary from the battery and secondary using pneumatic or hydraulic. Then it should comes on load automatically within 45 seconds after failure of main power supply. We have to ensure that this should come on load automatically within 45 seconds after the failure of main power supply. And they should give full rated power when the ship is in upright and when inclined at an angle of least up to 22.5 degree or inclined 10 degrees either forward or aft. They should give full rated power when the ship is upright position and when inclined at an angle of least up to 22.5 degree or inclined 10 degree either forward or aft. And if it fails to come on load, then indication to be given in the engine control room. We have to ensure that if it fails to come on load, the indication should be given in the engine control room. This is what about the regulations of emergency generator. Then emergency fire pump, their regulations and all. Okay. Here SOLAS requirement of emergency fire pump as per SOLAS chapter 2, the regulation term means it should not be less than 40% of total capacity of main fire pump or not less than 25 cubic meter per hour in any case. It is a SOLAS requirement as per SOLAS chapter 2 regulation term. That means emergency fire pump, it should not be less than 40% of the total capacity of main fire pump. So the emergency fire pump, it should provide not less than 40% capacity of the main fire pump. We have to ensure that, and it should pump not less than 25 cubic meter per hour in any case. That is also we have to understand that in any case this pumping rate should not be less than 25 cubic meter per liter per hour. And location means this is located outside the engine room in the shaft tunnel or in the forward of ship, and there should not be any direct access between the engine room and fire pump, this emergency fire pump. If there is access from the engine room, that means we have to provide air interlock between them. Okay. Then pressure means for passenger ship, that means 4000 gross tonnage and upwards, it will have 0.40 Newton per millimeter square. If less than 4000 gross tonnage, 0.30 Newton per millimeter square. Then for cargo ship above 6000 gross tonnage and upwards, 0.27 Newton per millimeter square. If it is less than 6000 gross tonnage, 0.25 Newton per millimeter square. Cargo ship like I mentioned 4000 gross tonnage and above, 0.27 Newton per millimeter square. If less than 4000 gross tonnage, 0.30 Newton per millimeter square. If it in case of passenger ship 6000 gross tonnage and above, that means 0.27 Newton per millimeter square. Less than 6000 Gauss tonnage means it is 0.25 Newton per millimeter square. Then jet or capability means at least 2 jet not emanating from the same hydrant using 1 hose length should be able to give a throw of 12 meter. And C suction valve means they should be able to operate from near the emergency fire pump. We have to ensure that C suction valve should be able to operate from the near emergency fire pump. Suction head means total suction head not to exceed 4.5 meter under all conditions of list and ship. We have to ensure that total suction head it should not exceed 4.5 meter under all conditions of list and trip. Drive type means generally diesel engine driven should be able to be started by hand cranking to 0 degree Celsius ambient temperature. We have to ensure that generally diesel engine driven it should be able to be started by hand cranking to 0 degree Celsius ambient temperature. Fuel tank it should contain enough oil to run it for a minimum period of 3 hours. We have to ensure that the fuel tank it should contain enough oil to run it for a minimum period of 3 hours, and sufficient fuel reserve for 15 hours should be available. And if prime mover is electric motor, then should have a connection with the emergency generator. If it is prime mover is electric motor, it should have a connection with the emergency generator. Then self priming attached with the self priming mechanism, suction pipe should not have any flanges.